Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and today I wanted to have a little chat about Super Mario Odyssey, considering the Direct was just the other day. I got Odyssey on the mind. I mean, you can't blame me. But before we even get started, I first just have to say, God, I love this game. Seriously, everything they show off, every single trailer, I just get so hyped. I'm at a point now where I can't even decide if I was more hyped for Breath of the Wild going into it or Super Mario Odyssey. It's perplexing. I don't know. Maybe that's a topic for another day, or even something we can chat about in the comments, so maybe talk about it there. I mean, besides the fact that we're finally getting another 3D Mario, the excitement around this game is huge, just because the series seems to be looking like it's returning to its roots. The fanbase can argue for and against many entries in the series in varying levels of quality, but for the most of us, we can all agree that 64 is one of, if not the best, in the 3D Mario series. And for what we know and can tell, Odyssey is returning to that type of formula, and there's a big reason why people hold Mario 64 in such high regard. This game was very important for the Mario series. It was his first entry, his first break into 3D gaming. All of his games before that have been either 2D platformers or some sort of other spin-off using that character, but there's never been a mainline, platforming-centered 3D experience playing as Mario. And this game blew people's minds when it first came out. Gamers had never experienced this world as big as this before, being able to explore at your own will, go wherever you want, find hidden details, little secrets. It was mind-blowing back in the day, and it's something you really can't appreciate unless you were among the times and played it when it first released. Another factor was that the controls felt nearly perfected. Mario games had always had that reputation of having very precise controls, and you really felt fluid with your movements. And that's something they could have easily messed up. Miyamoto knew the importance of making sure these controls felt like you were controlling Mario correctly, and the precision that it would require. The poor man locked himself in a room for nearly a year, just testing in a white box, playing with the controls of Mario to make them feel absolutely perfect. While maybe the graphics and the camera controls especially definitely are outdated to modern standards, the controls are timeless. They still feel amazing and fluid and work. They work good, okay? I don't know what they were thinking when they ported this game to the DS. I mean, maybe that's a precursor to, the Switch, wanting to play these console experiences on the go. But that D-pad, One thing I loved about Mario 64 was the atmosphere. Bob-omb Battlefield, Jolly Roger Bay, Cool Mountain, each had their own aesthetic and theming and made them each feel like their own worlds. Even Wet Dry World, as weird as it was, still felt unique by comparison. And this whole idea of atmosphere was taken a step further in Super Mario Sunshine. Each of the places Mario visited felt like real places. Instead of being an arrangement of platforms for Mario to jump through, feeling like more a video game or a platforming segment, the platforming design was built into the world, where it felt much more natural and a part of the environment. Another minor but pretty awesome detail is that when you're in an area, you can actually, when you look to the horizon, you can actually see other areas in the game. You see these levels off in the distance that you can then travel to later, which I thought was so cool. It was a unique way to bring the world all together, instead of each level feeling very disconnected from each other and feeling like levels rather than an actual cohesive, full experienced world. That's a terrible sentence. This is why I'm of the opinion that Sunshine's better of the Galaxy games. I can give plenty of praise to Galaxy's music as well as its level design. The platforming was amazing. But it kind of lost that immersion that the previous two titles had. It was very clear that I felt like I was selecting a level and playing a platforming segment. This was worsened in Super Mario Galaxy 2, where there was a literal level select, a top-down select, where you would jump from planet to planet. Don't get me wrong, these worlds were done fantastic and really great. But like I previously mentioned, it lost a little in the immersion sides of things. Sure, space can be bizarre and weird, but none of the levels really felt like they could be real places. It kind of made them visible seams in the game design, while Sunshine in 64 was a perfectly woven tapestry with no seams at all. It all fit and meshed together to make one big blanket, while Galaxy kind of felt like more patches of really beautiful segments of tapestry. However, it was pretty clear that they were all brought together into one place. And that's what kind of scared me when we saw that there was going to be a world map for Mario Odyssey. Because the world map sucks. It does. I don't want to be selecting levels. I want to be immersed into this crazy world of Mario and traveling from area to area in a more organic fashion. But I think they actually did a pretty good job making some sense of how this world map is going to work in Odyssey. You use your ship to travel from area to area on the map, spending, the moons that you collected in previous areas to unlock farther ones, and it all makes sense that way. I think the reason I'm more accepting here is that the levels or worlds themselves feel much more natural than Galaxy levels did. They tended to be on shorter sides, like I said, more linear with a set goal, while all of these so far seem to be very sandbox, open world, explorative, much like the previous entries in the series. Getting back to Super Mario Sunshine, I do want to acknowledge some of the controversy with that game. I'm not blind to it all, as much as I want to pretend to be. I totally understand and see how the blue coins suck. They're terrible. I know people hate having to go look for them. They're really strenuous and tedious and just blue coiniest. Is that a word? I don't know. The point is, grabbing the main shines in the game were the actual fun parts. While the blue coins were kind of hidden at random, it was nearly impossible to try to find them all, and it kind of hindered the experience for a lot of Mario fans, especially when trying to collect all of them. But could it be compared to the new moon system here in Mario Odyssey? We now know that each kingdom is going to have a ton of moons in it. For example, I believe we saw in the Sand Kingdom, there's nearly 69 moons in that level. Grow up, we will not make a joke, get out, we are not making a joke! If you think about it, each hidden moon is kind of comparable to a hidden blue coin. I think the difference is honestly what you're collecting. Because with the blue coins anyways, you had to collect 10 of them to then be able to cash it into the little guy, and then you got a single shine sprite. While in Odyssey, each moon you collect is a singular moon. You're actually getting the main collectible, rather than getting a segment of a collectible, a 10th of a shine, and then getting your final shine after you get 10 of them. It's that reason it makes it more acceptable, because there's that sense of satisfaction upon getting a moon, rather than getting a coin, realizing, oh, I still have to get 6 more, 4 more, until I can finally get my shine sprite. Another point of controversy in Super Mario Sunshine is FLUDD himself. Some say it made the controls a lot more awkward than it was in Super Mario 64, and then there's people on the other side of the spectrum that say it made the game even too easy. As a kid when I played, I didn't really know otherwise. I thought he was just a cute little character on your back. No harm done, right? In a Miyamoto interview a while back, sorry, I can't find it. I looked for the interview, I couldn't find it. I really couldn't, but I know it's there somewhere. Anyways, he said that FLUDD's intent in that game was to be an assist for players. Essentially to help younger audiences to maybe platform difficult sections easier. FLUDD could be used to make jumps that otherwise would have been missed. This is something I didn't even know was helping me as much as it did when I was younger playing this game, but I think it's honestly a big reason why I had so much enjoyment. For lack of a better word, it was a kind of a handicap for younger and more inexperienced gamers to be able to entry into this series and play this game. Because of that, it kind of did hinder the experience of the more older fans of the series and the older gamers who didn't really want nor need it. Thinking about this, kind of drew some comparisons to Cappy. Why? Why every time I type this on my script or in anything, I type Cappy, it turns into crappy every frickin' time? The comparisons of Cappy and FLUDD are that they are both tools to assist in Mario's movement. In Cappy's instance, this design is a little bit more hidden because it takes more skill to pull off these maneuvers. For example, you can throw your cap and then run onto it to jump for an extra boost. Now, when running level with the ground, this is relatively easy, but let's say you throw it over a gap and try to traverse it that way, it adds a little bit more skill there, trying to actually land onto your cap. What if you throw it out even farther and try to land on it with a long jump? Or even the crazy mid-air maneuvers to keep Mario with his trajectory. I don't even know how they did this scene, I really don't. There's even this crazy little spin attack thing. All these extra moves added to Mario's arsenal are just like FLUDD's intentions. It was to assist Mario in movement, making certain areas easier, but in this case it looks like there's a little bit more skill involved. FLUDD admittedly did take less skill. It was as simple as pulling a trigger, changing your trajectory slightly so you wouldn't miss a jump, and voila, you made it. There are some trickier things that you can do in that game, don't get me wrong, but by comparison to how Cappy helps you with movement, there's a very big difference in skill barrier. So in the end, perhaps they're not too different. Perhaps FLUDD and Cappy are really trying to help Mario in the same ways. They both make Mario feel and play differently, they add new movement options to help Mario traverse certain areas of levels, and they're both cute little sidekicks that we both know and love. So maybe Mario Odyssey actually takes a little bit more inspiration from Super Mario Sunshine than it first seemed. It nails the atmosphere just as good as Sunshine did, making each level or kingdom feel like a real world you could visit, making it a truly immersive experience. Then there's the experimentation with tools to assist Mario's movement. It makes him play and feel different than other entries in the series making it unique, as well as helping players in difficult platforming sections, or even being able to experiment and make new combinations that you could have never done in any previous game. That's why I'm truly excited for Mario Odyssey. Yes, I see the callbacks that it has to Mario 64, but to me, I almost think it might better represent the true best 3D Mario in the series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, subscribe for tons more in Super Mario Odyssey and other fun Nintendo Switch content. I don't know, I was kind of playing around and experimenting with this video. Lately, I haven't been super content with the, quality of content I've been doing. It felt kind of lazy, kind of rushed. I don't know, it just wasn't making me as happy anymore. So here's something new I'm trying, a new editing style, new video style, everything like that. And definitely let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Should I try to do more like this in the future? I actually had a lot of fun doing this video like this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, I really do. I would look forward to doing more like this in the future, so if something you're interested in, definitely let me know. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!